Something undeniable is unfolding in Mexico right now. It isn't a headline you'll find on the evening news, nor is it a fabrication of the internet's endless rumor mill. Instead, it is the silent, mechanical ticking of a spiritual clock, the fulfillment of a prediction made over 60 years ago by a man who saw the future. His name was Francesco Forgione, known to the world as Padre Pio. This Italian priest who bore the stigmata for half a century possessed a gift that baffled critics. He had the ability to peer into the human soul and discern the currents of time itself. Among his many prophecies, one remained obscured in dusty archives: a vision of heavenly signals, a spiritual revival, and a specific Latin American country becoming the furnace of an unprecedented global shift. For decades, scholars looked at Mexico and saw only political struggle. But by 2026, the alignment of historical timelines has made coincidence insufficient. Padre Pio once declared that a specific juncture in history would arrive when the divine and the earthly realms would begin to communicate in unison. He warned it would not be a gentle transition. It would be horrifying for those caught unawares, yet brilliantly revealing for those who have prepared. Today, millions are quietly experiencing this transformation, perhaps unaware they are cogs in a much larger, ancient plan. Before we peel back the layers of 1947 and 1531, you will see why Mexico is no longer just a nation, but a spiritual battleground. To understand the gravity, we travel back to 1947. A young Polish military officer with eyes heavy with guilt sought out the priest. Before the young man could speak, Padre Pio looked at him and said, "I know the burdens you carry, and I know who you are destined to become." Without a confession, the priest described a future where this soldier would wear white robes and lead millions. That soldier was Karol Wojtyla. But if he saw the destiny of a man, what did he see for an entire continent? He shared fragments only with his most trusted confidants. He spoke of a territory in the southern Americas where ancient customs and Christianity would merge: the Threshold Land. In the private records preserved by the Capuchin monks, Padre Pio didn't just point to Mexico. He outlined three precursors, three essential conditions that would signal the start of this threshold period. The first sign, he claimed, would be a spiritual disturbance. He described a profound destabilization of existing religious structures. Not their destruction, but a widespread disenchantment. If we look at the data in 2026, we see exactly this. Millions are detaching from formalized institutions to seek the sacred through individual paths: mindfulness, communal prayer, and indigenous customs. To an outsider, it looks like a decline. To Padre Pio, it was the great emptying. The second sign involved geopolitical pressure from the north, a powerful neighbor reshaping the landscape to force the people to confront their identity. Today, as the United States and Mexico's fates become inextricably linked through trade, immigration, and defense, we see this pressure at its peak. This isn't just about treaties or border policies. It is the friction required to ignite the third and most mysterious sign of all. The third indicator Padre Pio mentioned was the awakening of the guardians. Ordinary citizens feeling an inexplicable urge to protect their ancestral lands. Youth movements are abandoning corporate ladders to revive ancient medicine and linguistic heritage. They call it an internal call. Padre Pio maintained that when these three signs appeared simultaneously, humanity would enter the hour of decision. He spoke of a specific moment where the domain of the eagle and the serpent would become a battleground, not for weapons, but for human souls. Any historian knows the eagle and the serpent are the heart of the Mexican coat of arms. But Pio saw this as something much older. He warned that this awakening would be preceded by a significant disruption that would expose the very soul of the nation. For many, that disruption was a literal shaking of the earth, an event that revealed what the people were truly made of. Why Mexico? To answer that, we have to look at the spiritual DNA of the land. Mexico is one of the rare places on Earth where two massive spiritual tides crashed together and, instead of erasing one another, they fused. Long before the Spanish arrived, the Maya and Aztecs saw time as a series of great cycles. They believed the boundary between worlds would periodically thin, allowing for a collective shift in consciousness. When Christianity arrived in the 16th century, it didn't kill this indigenous perspective. It wore it like a mask. The ultimate expression of this is the 1531 apparition of the Virgin of Guadalupe on Tepeyac Hill. She didn't speak Spanish, she spoke Nahuatl. Her cloak was a map of the stars as seen by the indigenous people. Padre Pio's writings directly reference this maternal figure adorned with celestial elements, calling her the bridge. In his vision, this fusion wasn't a historical accident. It was a divine insurance policy for the year 2026. The Maya and Aztecs knew 2012 was merely the end of one cycle and the start of another, the age of the sixth sun. By 2026, as our world struggles with the cold, sterile nature of modern technology, Mexico's heritage offers a balance, a memory of the fundamental cycles of life that the rest of the world has forgotten. Padre Pio saw Mexico acting as a channel during this era, where the struggle between forgetfulness and remembrance would be sharpest. He famously stated that the eagle would have to choose whether to fly with the serpent or crush it. This wasn't just poetry, it was a warning that the duality of our nature would reach a breaking point in the modern era. In the mid-20th century, a journalist named Maria Winovska spent years interviewing Padre Pio. She eventually revealed a vision he had kept secret. She called it the vision of the two energies. He described society dividing into the power of oblivion and the power of memory. Oblivion is the force of constant distraction, social media outrage, and soulless productivity. It pulls you away from genuine meaning. Memory is the energy that pulls us toward community, humility, and spiritual objective. It ignites a longing for something grander. He told Winovska that Mexico would feel this tension most acutely because it harbors both forces in their most extreme forms. And then the disruption happened. On September 19, 2017, the anniversary of another massive quake, the earth moved. Before the government could act, thousands formed human chains. Strangers risked their lives for strangers. This was the resurrection of the people. Pio believes such moments of severe strain are the only way to reveal the diamond within the coal. The world saw Mexico's soul. This awakening isn't happening in grand speeches. It's in Zapotec villages in Oaxaca, where communities are reclaiming their land through 40-day assemblies. In Chiapas, ancient herbalism is being integrated with modern medical science. This is the Coyopa, the inner spark of realization. Padre Pio's final revelation wasn't about a sign in the sky. It was about a choice made daily. Not a moment, but a selection. The modern age is engineered to keep you in a cycle of reaction and consumption, making it harder to hear your own intrinsic guidance. Mexico is the starting point, the furnace of the resurrection. But the prophecy is for everyone. The pressure to wake up grows. Will you choose the noise of oblivion or the quiet power of memory? History isn't just a record, it's a map for what we are becoming. The question isn't whether the prophecy is true, it's whether you are ready to be part of the answer. To step into 2026 is to step onto a bridge built by the ancients. Padre Pio called Mexico a mirror of time. He saw that the age of the sixth sun wasn't just a date, but a reconfiguration of how we perceive reality itself. In the threshold land, your reflection doesn't just show your face, it shows your lineage and your potential. Pio's letters mention a serpent of light that would rise from the earth to heal the fragmented mind of the modern man. His own wounds, the stigmata, were a constant reminder that the physical world is always bleeding into the spiritual. Hidden within the Vatican's secret archives are reports from the 1600s describing similar spiritual flares in the Mexican heartland. In 2026, those flares have become a constant signal. Mexico is now a global node for what scholars call quantum spirituality. It is a fusion of the highest tech and the deepest earth, a balance that Padre Pio prophesied would save the West from its own machines. Look at the geography. The Gulf isn't just a body of water, it's a bowl holding the resonance of the Americas. Pio was known to have a spiritual compass. He told his followers, "Turn your eyes to the south when the north grows cold." When the north grows cold, he wasn't talking about temperature. He was talking about the freezing of the human heart. The south remains the furnace because it refuses to let go of the warmth of human connection. People often smelled roses in Pio's presence. In Mexico, the odor of sanctity is the smell of the very earth itself. This is why the prophecy focuses here. It is where the cathedral of nature has not yet been replaced by the cathedral of steel. It is a living land, a land that breathes. And in 2026, its heartbeat is becoming the rhythm for a new world. To understand the rhythm Padre Pio spoke of, we must look at the Maya, the masters of the cosmic clock. They didn't see time as a straight line heading toward an end, but as a loom weaving a pattern that repeats in higher octaves. Padre Pio described wheels within wheels in his visions, a celestial mechanics that mirrored these ancient calculations. By 2026, the age of the sixth sun has reached its zenith, a period where the sun's energy is said to speak to human DNA. This isn't an apocalypse in the sense of destruction. It is an apocalypsis, an uncovering of what was always there. Pio warned that the noise of the world, the distractions of power, would try to drown out this remembrance. He saw a world where information would become a prison, a smoke of Satan designed to cloud the spiritual vision. But he also saw the remedy. The prayer of the humble, he said, is the key that opens the heart of God. In 2026, the Mayan regions are pulsing. The jungle is remembering. The ancient stones are vibrating with a frequency we are just beginning to hear. They call it the singing of the rocks, a phenomenon reported by locals where the earth itself seems to hum at dawn and dusk. Science calls it the Schumann resonance. The Maya called it the heart of heaven. In 2026, these frequencies are finally syncing. Pio was a healer. He knew that when the sync happened, the body would begin to heal in ways that baffle modern medicine. The Maya predicted this evolution of the heart, a time where the human spirit takes flight, leaving the heavy cages of the past behind. This is the meeting of the ages, the Italian saint and the Mayan sages, pointing toward the same horizon in 2026. And that horizon is closer than you think. The shift is not coming, it is already here. Padre Pio spoke of guardians, not soldiers of war, but sentinels of the spirit who would rise during the great shaking. These are ordinary people who suddenly feel the weight of centuries, an inner obsidian shield against the chaos of the north. He saw this movement crossing borders. The threshold land is the anchor, but the net is global. In 2026, the spiritual lee lines of the world are being rerouted. Old centers are dimming, new ones are flaring. The signs are small, a return to the table, a refusal to be divided by digital walls. This is the silent awakening. When the guardian wakes, the land responds. The hour of decision is personal before it is collective. Pio often saw souls at a crossroads. In 2026, he would say, "Choose the path that has a heart." This is the great fusion, where the technology of the North finally submits to the wisdom of the South. The guardians are moving. They are the first to cross the threshold, inviting the rest of us to follow. Life finds a way, even through the silicon, even through the noise. Pio remains the silent witness. His prophecy is no longer a warning, but a lived reality for those with eyes to see. The threshold land has expanded. The boundary is gone. There is only the furnace and those willing to step inside. She is ready. The guardians are ready. Are you? History is a cycle. We have come to the center. Go in peace. The Furnace of the World, Mexico, 2026. Beyond the dates, beyond the geography, lies the fundamental truth Padre Pio whispered to the wind. We are not children of the earth, he wrote, but travelers who have forgotten the language of the stars. In 2026, the technology that once distracted us is finally being used to look back at our origins. The Maya called them the Seven Sisters. They believed their ancestors came from the fire of those stars. Pio's threshold is the moment we realize that the iron in our blood is the same iron forged in the heart of a dying sun. The structures of the old world are not being destroyed, they are being transfigured. Everything returns to its simplest form. The saint was once a child, and the child is always a saint. This is the breath of the land, a synchronization of human intention in planetary life. The Guardian's task is simple: to be the only one who stays awake when the world is dreaming of gray. Take courage, he whispers across the decades. The furnace is hot, but the gold is pure. When the seven suns become one, the cycle is complete. The threshold has been crossed. This was always the destination, a world where heaven and earth are no longer separate rooms. The Guardians are coming home. The long winter of the North is over. And in the eye of the saint, the journey is just beginning.